All right, ladies and gents, boys and girls, welcome. Hope you're all doing well on this fine day. And guys, without further ado, let's get this show on the road. So as always, guys, good morning, good afternoon, and a very good evening, no matter where we are around the world. Welcome to another edition of the London stream. Once again, looking forward to seeing what we can come up with moving forward here today. Been a solid week so far, really good week, with 2 wins and a break even so far for me. Again, it's just a matter of being patient, waiting for your setup and your plan to present in front of your eyes, as opposed to trying to predict prior to it. So as we do on the daily, guys, what we will be doing is having a look at both gold, the DAX, and also GJ, and for any other pair as per request, guys. So as you guys know, feel free to send those into the chat. Any pair you'd like me to look at. YouTube, if you have any charts, would be fantastic. Otherwise, guys, let's have a look to see news wise what we have here today. So we had a big day yesterday with FOMC. We'll have a little look into that moving forward. Today, another day of high impact news for the US dollar, and with unemployment claims to come 30 minutes into MY session. So it's more about tomorrow for our session, which we do have GDP for the pound. Unfortunately, I won't actually be on for the release of that, but I'll be on a little bit after it. So guys, without further ado, that's something to keep an eye on. Make sure that you guys on YouTube, you must hit that like button. You really need to help me out here. Hit the like button. Say good day in the chat. Don't be shy, guys. Let's get this YouTube chat pumping. And TikTok, you guys smash that screen for me. Feel free to ask any questions and I'll get to you guys all shortly. But guys, let's have a good one. And let's start with the analysis and see what we're looking at likely here today on gold. And once again, starting the weekly time frame. And what we can see is we are forming a bearish candle, current candle. Quite a significant pullback though, may have been off the back of some of the news from FOMC, but still forming a bearish candle. So perhaps we're just pulling back within this candle to form, again, grab liquidity, to form some resistance in order to head back down. So a little bit indecisive within the current weekly candle. We're almost approaching our weekly open at the minute. So onto the daily time frame, what we can see is we do have counter probabilities to the upside. We don't have a low wick though on the current daily candle, so we're going to mark that level in and we're going to see what we've got below it. Seeing we do have the higher low, higher high, if we were now to continue bullish, there is not much of a need for us to pop back down and break our own low. So if we do so, potentially we could look for some sell options, but perhaps it could just be pulling back to grab liquidity in order to head back up. So that's something we also keep a bit of an eye on. Bullish in structure, bullish in counter probabilities. Onto the 4-hour time frame, we do remain bearish in structure here. So potentially pulling back to create a lower high, showing a little bit of exhaustion now on the 4-hour. This candle is about to close and it looks like it may close back bearish, closing basically at its open. So what that would suggest to me is one of 2 things: potential for reversal to head back down in line with the 4-hour structure, or it could, however, just be a bit of a pause within price action in order for the price to head back up to retest the 4-hour resistance higher up, and also retest the last significant lower high, where the structure will flip back bullish if price was to close above the highest point of that swing. So that's something that, once again, we need to consider. As far as our zones, let's begin to mark some in. We'll mark in these lows. We'll likely remove it shortly, seeing it is far off the current price action. We'll also mark in most recent resistance to the upside, and we'll be marking a few levels in between just now when we go down more so to 15-minute time frame. All right, So the 15-minute time frame here is, in my opinion, let me look at this properly. Have we closed below? We're right at the low of that swing, so we're actually, I would argue it's technically bullish here on the 15 as long as we remain above technically this wick here. So as long as we continue to close above, which we have done so, tapped in multiple times, closed right at it, but continuing to close above it. So the bias off the back of that is technically bullish or neutral, because the weekly is still forming a bearish candle. However, let's just quickly mark in some resistance, and what we've got is, let's just mark in the level here to the left. Above that level, we've got some pretty clean traffic to the left. We have tapped in, rejected it, so I'd want to be above it if we were looking for buys, guys. So I'm just going to put buys above. Seeing we have tapped in and rejected, I'm not going to look to buy it above the current daily high because we're running into more resistance here to the left. So for the buys, I definitely want to be above that point. I want to see closure above, and that point we've got more margin. As far as support, that's the daily low. We're marking the support just above that level. Seeing we have rejected that resistance, we could have some potential sells in 4 minutes, guys. If this candle manages to close pretty much where it's at, if not bearish engulfing, that would be even better. 30 minutes going to reject, close bearish engulfing within it. The 15 will also be closing pretty much bearish engulfing. 5 minute breaking a support. I just need to patiently wait 3 minutes and 45 seconds to see if I can get a sell here on gold. What I will be waiting for is an upward wick on the following candle, and then we'll look to enter below the catalyst candle's low. So pretty much looking for the sells below this resistance, and we could have a catalyst in a couple minutes, guys. So that's what I'm currently looking at. Aside from that, if we do pop back down to the support here and form support, seeing we are in an uptrend on the minor time frames, then I would also look for a potential buy. But what I'm going to do is just make sure I've got this ready just in case it is valid, and looks like it could be. So at the moment, if we don't break that previous bullish candle's low, but we remain pretty much where we're at, I don't mind if we pull back a little bit to leave a bit of a lower wick. But if this is to be the lowest point of the M30, then we'll be entering just a little bit below. Need to wait for an upper wick. So the lowest point of the 30-minute candle, 33.20.59. So entry around 33.20.40. I like the 5 minute as well. So even if the 5 minute closes weak bullish, that's still okay in my opinion. So this is what we're currently looking at, guys. We're looking at gold sells in a couple minutes from now, just over 2 minutes. I will have a look at GJ and the German 40 shortly, but we'll focus on gold for the time being. To my members, let me send you guys a link just quickly. And I'll get to you guys in a chat also shortly. So we need an upper wick on the following candle. We don't want this thing to start to reject too much. So I really want it to, let's mark in that level. That will be still a strong closure of 30. Still a strong enough closure of 15. So I want it to be below the 5 minute support. And we could have a sell option in just over a minute, guys. So let's see. Stop loss will be back above the 15. So the current candle. You're looking at some 33 pips roughly. 30, yeah, roughly 33, 34 pips. We need this candle to leave a bit of a lower wick. It's just a rule of mine. Because often what is followed by a candle that doesn't leave a lower wick is a candle, next candle tends to reject. And the following candle has to have an upper wick prior to any entry. So 45 seconds remaining, guys. Let's see. Let's see if we're going to get a potential early sell option here on gold today. And we'll get to you guys shortly in the chat. Last thing we want is for it to pop up above that 5-minute support. So we wanted to reject a little bit just now. Here we go, guys. Countdown is on. We've got now 10 seconds remaining. Oh, please drop a little bit more. All right. So we need an upper wick. And I've set a sell stop. It's a new alley as well. Alley closed bearish, leaving a long rejection wick below resistance. I like it. We've created a bit of an upper wick here. I like that. So looking at sells, I've got an order set at 33, 20, 40. Stop loss is just above the M15. And we'll soon see. So the entry is just below that bullish candle slow, guys. Quickly, in the meantime, Franco, Kyle, Barman, Lois, g'day to you guys. Hope you're all well. TikTok, I don't mind this too, by the way. That's pulling back a bit because it is the opening of the new alley, so there is a chance it could create a bit more of an upper wick before it might reject. To everyone on TikTok, welcome to the 8 new followers. So let me just make this clear, we're not in just yet. So had a good stream yesterday, a quick win on gold yesterday. We'll see if we can back it up today. Harry McNulty, g'day to you. My limit got hit at 33, 25, 25 for sell. Shall I hold? 25, 25. You're looking good, mate. So, I mean, you need to have a plan. You need to have a trade management plan. Don't give it back, whatever you do. Don't take a loss from, you know, being some 40 odd pips up. Tempt 659 bonk. Is that not a crypto? Nathaniel, gold. Yep. So that's what we're looking at. Looking at some gold sellers. Right there, actually, 3220.4. Off the back of the hourly rejection, off the back of the M30 bearish engulfing candle at resistance. 15 also at resistance, closing strong bearish, and we closed below the 5-minute support. So if we flip, break below the support here, I will be in a trade. So we shall soon see, and I still not looked at the other pairs, so I will do so shortly. Let's just take a quick look at German 40. Yeah, not much going on there. Not a bad little buy above resistance on the 5-minute just there. As mentioned all throughout the week, I think the 5-minute is the way to trade this beast. GJ, just quickly looking at it, looking quite similar to gold, but obviously not ready, in my opinion, for a sell at the minute. Approaching some resistance here to the left. GJ, without going into too much detail, because I'm still keeping an eye on gold here, I would really like to look for sell options below that 198.912 roughly. Then traffic to the left off the back of that. I do believe structure, you could argue, still technically bearish as long as it really remains below its bullish candle wick. As long as it continues to close below that point. Let's quickly look at it in a 15. Where's the highest point of any resistance at this level? The most recent wick here to the left. So above it looks good for buys. Because at least at that point you would have confirmed a structure flip also on the 30-minute time frame. So buys above, sells below the support. That's quickly what I'd be looking at on GJ. Without going through the actual high time frame picture at the minute, so we'll get back to it shortly. Seeing we have a gold sell stop in place. See if we get treated. Sketchmas, g'day to you, mate. Hope you're well. And if this 15 closes like so, it's another good signal to look for a sell. A weak bullish pause, minus support. Price was to continue to the upside. There'd be not much need to break the support. If we break it, seeing it's a weak pause, leaving a long rejection upward, then there'd be a high probability price could push and continue to the downside. So if it was to close like so, not a problem at all. Please, can you explain entry point? Trust God. Entry point, I just went over it a few seconds ago. So entry point, I've got it set at 33, 20, 40. It's based off almost 15-minute engulfing. We'll be breaking 15-minute supports based off 30-minute bearish engulfing at resistance, based off hourly rejection at resistance. So to me, it's enough to look for a potential sell. And also 5-minute close below support. We are creating some lower highs, lower lows. So we'll see. Not in it, so whilst it's popping up, I'm safe. Bloody cold day here in Melbourne. Man, Cud Wagwan. Yes, this is gold. This is gold. So I've got an order set, but not in play just yet. Rejection on GJ, again, keep a bit of an eye on that too, because I do like it below this support, guys. Still, in my opinion, bearish on the 30. Not closed above the highest point of the swing of the last significant lower high. So as long as we respect it, and if we reject and pop below the support, then we could have some options to sell GJ as well. And what I'm liking about potential buys at the minute too is that we are yet again rejecting. We have already previously rejected over here to the left hand side. So now if we were to finally break and close above that point there, then that is enough of a catalyst to suggest to me that we could be ready to head back up to the resistance here at 199,350 roughly. So off the back of that, GJ also at a pretty good level for potential options moving forward. Charts looking a little bit better than they have the past few days of the week. Yesterday we really worked into a trade, but it still had high probabilities and worked quite well. But the chart was nowhere near as clean or clear, in my opinion, as what it is today. MG472, what's your time frame? This one's pretty much based off the hourly, the 30 to 15 and the 5 all in one. That's confluence across the board, but generally speaking the 15. Vodek or Yodek, I'm not sure if that's a Y or V, but it's an uptrend gold. That's fair enough. I'm not in it just yet anyway, so I'm just trading my plan, my rules, and waiting, and my signals. That's it. We're all allowed to have different opinions. I know I believe gold's in a big strong uptrend, But trading wise, I see an opportunity to maybe take a sell. The way we are popping up just now, we may need to wait for the 15-minute closure. The stop loss is, it's actually tapped into right where I've got my stop loss if I'm triggered in. But I'm keeping it open for the time being. Now, if the 15 closes strong bullish, then I will need to remove the order. And just playing off the back of my rules, because if it closes, now let's mark it in so we know. If it closes above the point, look, the 0.5 is still technically valid, but the 0.382 is definitely of higher probability. But why I'm interested in that level there is because I'm gauging the strength of the current candle. Now, if it closes below the 0.382, to me, it's a weak bullish candle, which would suggest to me if prices to begin to break that candle's low, there's a high probability we would continue with impulse to the downside. If it closes above, which it looks like it's doing just now, so I'm just going to remove the order. So not taking it just now with the way we are currently pulling back. So if we were to close above, which obviously you need to shift that up now, that would suggest to me it's a lot more strength to the upside within this current candle. And therefore, if I was to consider a sell yet again moving forward, what I would need to wait for is pretty much this to trust it again. Or we need to be back below that point eventually. So all good, guys. Remove the order. Unfortunately, it's not going to present just yet. And we'll wait and see. Again, the beauty of having rules. Can spare you entries. A bad entry can spare you a loss. Sometimes you miss out on a trade though. So looking at GJ, and let's do some analysis now on GJ and German 40. I've got gold on my MetaTrader, so I keep a bit of an eye at the same time. But what strategy do you use? It's my own, mate. Based on pure price action. I don't trade fair value gaps. I respect it, but please, this is what I do, and respect what I do as well. So you're entitled to your opinion. And I mentioned before, I agree, gold's in an uptrend. I do agree, but I saw a potential opportunity to take sell. I've removed it now because it's not valid anymore. So again, I do it differently. Not everyone has to trade fair value gaps. SMC, I don't even know what SMC is. Not everyone has to trade imbalances. Do what works for you. This is what works for me. Okay. Now let's look at GJ. I'm not going to remove the drawings, but we'll hide them for the moment. All right. So looking at the weekly, and still off the back of yesterday, we are forming yet again still a very strong bullish engulfing candle here. So as I mentioned yesterday, what likely you're looking for within this candle is previous levels that we could potentially pull back to yet again form a support back above, or continuation buys above the high. So at the moment, we're in a bit of a pullback phase within the current weekly. Previous daily closed back bearish, and look at that, we've tapped into the resistance and we are bouncing off it. So potential reversal point here in GJ. Current daily, let's just mark in the high of it, and let's also mark in the low of it. The low, actually, we're a fair distance off, so let's not bother with the low for the time being. Work our way down to the 4 hour. All right, so the 4 hour, again, we can mark in that support, but we'll likely remove it, seeing we're far away from it at the minute. 4 hour, we can see is technically bearish in structure, but the previous candle was a bullish engulfing candle. If we were to begin to break the previous candle's high, counter probabilities at that point will be to the upside. So therefore, off the back of that, let's go down to the 30. And like I mentioned before, I like the fact that we have tapped into the resistance here to the left, which lines up with the last significant lower high. So seeing we have rejected, if we were to continue bearish, then there really is not much of a need for us to pop back up, close above. And if we do so, not only are we flipping a 30-minute structure back bullish, in line with the strength of the weekly and the bias, we also have some pretty clean traffic to the left. So the 4 hour as well, counter probabilities would be to the upside at that point. So off the back of that, we did close above 199, 120. I would be looking for a potential buy on GJ. Now if we do begin to reject yet again and respect structure at this point here, begin to pop below to support at 198.912, there's some clean traffic to the left. In my opinion, that would be a likely spot to get involved in some sells back down roughly towards 198.450 potentially. So that is GJ, guys. Hopefully that makes sense. Quickly looking at gold again, still popping up, so still the same entry point if it does eventually reject, but I've removed the order off the back of the strength of the 15-minute bullish engulfing candle. Not interested in buying into the resistance, so I just need to wait, guys. On to German 40, and let's have a look at the weekly to begin. And look at that all-time high territory on German 40. Just keeps on keeping on these indices, spurred by, I think, potential tariff agreements between the EU and the US. So obviously the markets are liking what they're hearing out of that. So again, looking to see within this candle what levels we potentially could pull back to yet again form support at and hit back up, and also above the high. There is nothing wrong with looking for buys. I know people are going to say, but it's at all-time highs. How can you trust it? It's in a big strong uptrend, so why not trend your friend until the end? But what we're going to do is mark in the daily low and the high, and we're going to see if there is some sort of catalyst below the daily low, such as maybe a structure flip on the minor time frame, in order to look for a sell from that level. Onto the 4 hour, once again, very strong uptrend here, marking the current high as resistance, and we've just formed support recently just here. We'll obviously adjust it on the minor time frame. We'll just adjust it to this point here, and what we can see is the 15. Oh, you could almost argue it's still bullish, to be honest, because you don't have a proper swing point here. There's no two more consecutive candles pulling back in the opposite direction to the overall high, but I would consider that to be a swing, to be honest. So I'm actually going to say it's bearish here on the 15. What I'm going to do is mark in that level just there, and as long as price remains below it, seeing we are currently pulling back in the middle of the range, I would not be looking to buy it. Buys at best above this point here. Clean traffic to the left, we're likely going to retest the all-time high yet again. So buys above 24,603 roughly. Again, the 5-minute will likely suffice on this particular indice. Now, otherwise, guys, sells below the support make sense to me. If price was to once again pop back down towards the daily low and just close below that support there, we're likely going to break the low of the day and head back down towards 24,510 roughly. So we'll consider that as a potential sell option. That's pretty much it on German 40. Potentially look for rejection sells again if we do respect some structure here on the 15. But full disclosure, German 40, I am not trading it live because it just picked it up this week, so I'm just looking at it, watching it, paper trading it for the time being. Gold and GJ is what I trade personally live, but we will look to pick up German 40 in the future. And that is the wrap of proceedings. Again, make that what you will, guys. Gold, time to wait. Almost too good to be true. Nishad, BTC, Breadman, go to you. Yeah, so gold, we were looking to sell gold, but it never triggered in. And it's since popped back up. So still, I can mark in support just here and sells below that point now. So no trade just yet, guys. If we begin to pop below 3320.73, I would definitely be looking for options, take a sell. BTC, all-time highs. Bullish, 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 bullish. Everyone under the sun, including the cats and dogs, are going to try to sell this thing once it breaks this support, without doubt. Mark my word, everyone's going to try to sell it. And what it will likely happen is, you think you're looking good, take the sell, hangs around the previous resistance, and then heads back up and trend's bullish in line with the actual overall bias and trend. So when a particular asset is in such a strong bull trend, I'm very reluctant to take any sells on it. Really reluctant to, unless I've got a high time frame confluence, which I don't really have. I mean, you got 4-hour candles closing back bearish, but more so a daily rejection at the daily resistance would be enough, and maybe you may flip some structure within it on the minor time frame. But for me on BTC, I'd just be looking for buys again above the all-time high, or buys from support, or it be from above 110.70, 110.50, or lower down. That's just how I would personally play it. You need to be so careful trying to counter trend trade something when it's in a massive strong trend, because a lot of the time you get wrecked. You get absolutely wrecked. Gold popping up, who knows, there could be maybe be buys moving forward. GJ, so let's keep an eye on GJ as well, guys. 9.5 minutes remaining. Will we close above? If so, yes, I may be trading GJ. Not done so much at all for the past little while, but I'm willing to take the trade if it does present. Mansour, sell entry now? No, not for me. Wow, gold pushing. Still got 8 and more than 8.5 minutes guys, so plenty of time. YouTube guys, give me a like, please. A record of 81% is not good enough for YouTube these days. No idea. Alright, so off the back of what I can make out of what happened overnight my time for FOMC, then the US are less likely, the Fed are less likely to cut interest rates anytime soon, but apparently some board members also mentioned there could even be a cut as soon as this month. So I think off the back of that, the markets have, obviously the majors are continuing bullish, so very difficult times. Very difficult to know what to make of it all, to be honest. Once again, with the tariffs, they're just kicking the can down the road. Apparently they will no longer extend after the 1st of August, so unless countries come to some sort of agreement before, there's a blanket tariff. So it'll be interesting to see around that time, because at that time we're going to have a lot of volatility. So at the end of this month into the start of August, there's going to be, I'm sure, a great deal of volatility about, guys. Need to be careful of that. Wow, look at gold rejection. What level on GJ we need to be above? Alright, 120. Let's set the alert on GJ. How's it going, mate?
Yeah, well, you.
All good, all good. What are we looking at?
You on the Forex to the left-hand side.
those weeks on
Yeah.
GJ or
Oh, GG. Yeah.
yeah, it's a bit of a tricky area, but I've ignored the bullish candles because even on the 15 it's the same deal. Yeah, so that's why I've chosen the actual level as level I want it to be above. What about you? What are you looking at? Similar scenario or?
Same.
Yep.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah.
Nice one. I like the sell option as well if it rejects. So
Yeah, I actually prefer that. I think.
yeah, likewise. As you know, I prefer to sell it anyway. So
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. Maybe you guys.
I do think it's fun.
Yeah, no, it's a lot cleaner. It's a hell of a lot cleaner. Plus, you could argue, or you actually could argue it's just. Oh, actually no. Hold on, that's 15. 30, not quite yet flip, but could be in a minute or two. But yeah, I prefer to sell. I always prefer to sell. I'm not sure what it is, psychological thing. But it is a lot cleaner below. What's the odds though? What's the odds, man? GJ's just gonna do this all session. Look like it's gonna make a move straight back up, and then half an hour now after stream does that. We'll see though. All right, I want to see a bit of 5-minute support here on the gold, but that the issue is I want the 15 to close back bearish, so it's likely not gonna. Yeah, it's not going to present. Because the entry below support would mean this candle is actually closing bullish. With the back of the strength of the 30. Yeah, it's not solid enough in my opinion. Who's also catering chef? Gold AUD buying off the base. Gold AUD. Oops. Yeah, it's in a bit of consolidation. It's been a bit of strength in the Aussie, but also strength in gold. Yeah, to me, it's all about these two levels for now. Clean below it, clean above it. So I'd be avoiding anything in between at the minute because it's just consolidating. Why does gold move $10 moves? Because it's a very highly liquid asset class. There's a fair bit of volume in it. It's traded amongst the central banks and things like that, so it's prone to make some big moves. Him up. Euro is downtrend or up. Euro, pretty sure it's in an uptrend. Oh, let me just. Yeah, it's alright. We're not going to get an entry on gold. Closure of this candle. GJ, I'm watching it in my minute trader. Doesn't look likely at the minute as well. So Euro, let's quickly look at it. Weekly, forming a bearish candle, lower high, lower lows at previous daily. Potential reversal, and so far it looks like it is reversing. Left too long, significant lower wicks into this level for whatever reason. Doesn't really line up with much, but we have broken the high of that hammer slash doji sort of candle in the previous daily. 4 hour. I would argue it's still technically bullish here. And the 30 I'd argue is bearish off the back of that drop. So it's a bit of a mixed bag. Mark that level in and adjust it accordingly if need be. Mark in this support and also likewise do the same, adjust it if need be. So the majors I would trade using the 30-minute as opposed to the 15. If it were me, I don't trade them though. So euro. Oh, GJ, hold on. Have to concentrate. All right, so if we close above here, got 20 seconds to do it. It will likely come down to the following candle, how it forms. It needs to have a lower wick. It would be nice if it does reject the low of this zone and then begin to flip and break above. And we need to leave a bit of an upper wick. All right, have left an upper wick. We need a lower wick on the current candle. It needs to pull back to create a lower wick, guys. I'm not taking it without it. Still hasn't got one. It's popping up. It's just broken the high. So if it goes, it goes. I'll get back to euro in a second. But I need it now to create a lower wick. And if it does, I will set a buy stop just back above the high of the current candle. Stop loss will be below the 15. But I'm not entering until I have that wick to the downside. All right, nice one. Now we want to tap in. So we've not yet had it. Beautiful. All right, 155. I'm looking at a buy. So I've got a buy stop set on GJ. For 155. Stop loss is below to 15. And in the way to manage this trade is, if it is triggered in, I could pretty much just automatically drag my stop loss to just below the entry candle, or I could just choose to cut half if it breaks that point. So obviously not in just yet. And that's what I'm currently looking at.
Yeah, same. Looks quite nice.
Yep, if we reject this though. Pulls back a little bit too far, then we might have to wait again. Gold is still... Oh, it did reject towards the end. Yeah, it still looks better below 3020.73 though. So that's the focus for the time being, guys. HGS, I'll just call it that. You're looking for sales on gold. Well, again, as I mentioned before, sells below 3020.73 and buys above 33.29. 33.30 roughly for the buys. Man, Cuddy Wagwan, this is GJ at the minute. Adrian TP. Well, again, I'll look to secure in between, but the overall target will be the resistance here at 199.360 roughly. But hence the reason why I wait for it to create the lower wick, because look at that now. Had you just taken it without a FOMO, as it broke the high of that previous candle without a lower wick, you're now stuck in drawdown. So we'll see. So if it doesn't trigger me in, and if it pops straight back down and closes in the range below, it's all good. Be the same scenario as gold before. Nothing much you can do about it, but at least it's not a loss. So stop loss is at the minute below 15, the previous 15. Statue Grizz, good day to you. Sell. No, not GJ. I'm looking for a potential buy. Gold before I was looking for a sell, but it bounced back up. There was no entry, so I'm still waiting on gold. Perhaps if we have the 15 closing bearish engulfing without making the move back down to 33.21, maybe we might have a catalyst there. So we'll keep it still a bit of an eye on gold here, guys, but the focus for the time being is GJ. Gold GBP. Also looking pretty good for buyers if it breaks above that little pause. Brian, yep, this is GJ. So we've got I have buy stop set at 155. So when would you enter the trade on EU? On EU, probably on a sell below this point here. Yeah, seeing we have rejected the resistance, for our resistance, we pop below this most recent support. Now I'll be looking for sells. Sorry guys, looking, I'm keeping a little bit of an eye on gold as well. Statue Grizz, what time do you have to? I'm not sure what you what that's in reference to. Just HRVH28, what's your capital if you don't mind me asking? Don't need to disclose that. It's not a huge amount, but it's again something that will see some decent returns and also some decent losses if you're not careful. So GJ, so the 199.155. Statue, what do you mean? What time do you have to? What? I don't know what you mean by that. What time do you have to what? So I'm considering some gold sells as well. So we are rejecting that resistance. We did close a doji / hammer sort of candle. You'd want a strong rejection here on a 5. What time you have in your app or country? Right now it's 4:37 p.m. in Melbourne. All right, GJ, the green light is on. Are we going to get triggered in? Wow, the spread must be spiking. Let me have a look at that. Oh, it is too. Oh, I don't want to get chagged in by spread.
What's your spread?
It's just over 1, which is quite unusual on GJ. So I've just 157. I've adjusted the entry slightly. Highest point of this candle is so 158 guys. It's a pip and a half above. Want to be at least that. No account for spread, so pip and a half above 158 is where I've now set the entry. Let's see. Yeah, because I saw the green light pop on, but the price was at 133. I'm thinking, wow, that must have spiked or something to spread, so quickly adjust it. All right, gold a little bit dead in the water at the minute. Man Cuddy Wagwan, entry in GJ, so I've set an order at 199.158. Allowing for the spread. Tobias gold sell. Yeah, you need a strong rejection here, at least on the 5 minute. We have wicked into that resistance multiple times, so we now need a strong closure. So the good thing is, it's not going to happen in the next few seconds likely. So the 5 minutes going to close. So if it is to happen, potentially it will happen on the next M5, which will close the M15. Maybe perhaps bearish engulfing, and then it will just come down to whether or not we've got the margin to sell it back down. So gold also looking okay, but we want this M5 to close quite strong without really pushing all the way, to be honest. We need to start the margin to sell it. So we really would love to see the bearish engulfing on the 15 or very close to it. And that is the case, I will consider gold sells from a little bit higher up. Joseph HRVH28, how long have you been trading? More than 8 years now. Statue Chris, what time you use on trade? 1-5, mainly the 15. Mainly the 15. Depending on what pair. GJ more sort of 30. 15, I'll look at the 5 as well. So welcome to all the new followers, by the way. Trading market. Good morning, mate. Took the trade on gold once it flipped. Is that what was a good trade? Which I'm not sure which one you're talking about, mate. Was it a buy or a sell? Just my XK throughout heaven and earth, Justin Lone in the honored one. Appreciate the kind words, mate. But yeah, and just a man following his plan. That's what I do best. Just trading the plan. So we'll see if GJ gets triggered in and if gold presents a potential sell option. Could we have two trades almost running at the same time? Maybe. So create the rules for both. GJ's ticked the box. What happened there? What happened there? That's what I was gonna say. That's glitching system, or
I like the 5 minute on GJ.
yeah, looking good, forming some nice structure. I'm likely gonna get triggered in. Green light is on yet again. So let's see. So we've got the rule set for gold, and we're looking at GJ because it looks like it could get triggered in shortly. CP on GJ, well again, the overall target is 199,350. I'm in. So let's see. Why does it do that? Very, very different gold. It's extremely different gold. Not traded much at all of late. I mean, that on gold itself looks like probably about 10 pips. On GJ, you're a couple pips in profit and that's it. Too fat to be kidnapped. Gotta love some of these names. This is Great British Pound JPY. Seb, again, it's of no importance. Just, this is the trade I'm in. Keep a bit of an eye on gold as well. Still not really convincing on gold. So we're at about 2.5 pip profit here on GJ. It's slow. Now the 15 is about to close, so we would really like it to push a little bit higher up. Leave a bit of an upper wick, and then you have to allow for the new 15 to create a bit of a lower wick. And we'll see. So what's the stop loss is... Wow, stop loss is 12 pips. I'm not used to having such a small stop loss, to be honest. So I reckon in this one, I'm just going to let it either hit full stop, or there's not really much management you can do with it. I'm used to having like a 40, 50 pip stop in trading gold. For Quero David Gab, I'm just learning about trading. Well, stick around. You'll learn a lot on this stream. Let's have a look at gold again. Oh, geez, guys, gold. Gold entries could also potentially present here. Oh, they are valid. Upper wick, you need decent upper wick. Without it, no entry. The low of that candle, 33, 23, 83. So 33, 23, 63. You need to allow for 2 pips on gold.
Justin, morning.
G'day mate, how you going?
Yeah, I'm okay. And
Nice
you?
one. All good, all good. Just looking at gold trades currently in drawdown, but looks things on GJ. It's popping back down. So the 15's closed. Yes, I'm looking at gold, guys. Entry 33, 23, 63. So the 15's closed bearish engulfing. We've closed below 5-minute support at resistance. That's what I'm currently looking at. GJ, we are rejecting. All right, so I'm stuck in some drawdown on GJ at the minute. About 4.5 pip, 5 pip drawdown roughly. Oh, the rejection on GJ, wow. Yep, as mentioned though, I'm just going to leave it because it's just a small stop loss, so I'm not too bothered. So gold sells 33, 23, 63. That's 2 pips below the low of the previous bearish candle on my broker. Good Pret. Yeah, looking at selling gold. Just F, mate. If I'm be consistent, you should be blocked right now. You should be gone, completely gone. Be very careful. So if anyone sends any DMs from the chat to someone else, just block them. And if anyone claims to be me, just block them, because it's not me. I don't initiate conversation, any chat with anyone. If you want to contact me, I'm more than happy to answer, but I never directly message anyone to begin. All right, GJ rejecting here, so not looking great. But again, I'm still keeping it open. Stop loss I've got at 40. That's where I've actually got it. And gold looks like we could be triggered in shortly. Or I could be triggered in shortly. Too fat to be kidnapped. Dollar is about to go up. Yep, so that's in line with gold going down potentially. Top wick 5-minute. Yep, we got that. What is the TP on gold? Again, its target will be this support, but I'll secure in between. Definitely secure in between. You guys who watch me on a regular know how I go about it. I quick to take profits. GJ, I'm normally quick to manage in drawdown, but GJ is just not much of a stop loss to worry so much about it. It'll look good, but it's rejecting, so not much you can do. Ayo, you're in short, okay. Gold sells perfect. What I think about Holo? No idea. Don't know what it is.
Yeah, I'm out of GJ.
Yeah, I'm about to. I can see it line up. Top one look good. Still in it, but yeah, small stop loss. So again, just trying to plan. Look good. That rejection just now, even a 5 minute look good. How contact you private? You just send me a DM. That's how you contact. Quite simple. Statue cruise. Too fat to be kidnapped? Yeah, I'm a scalper. Yeah, GJ's out. Just sort of goodbye to GJ. Yeah, and I've not traded. Just rarely trade it these days. Maybe that's why. Lost my touch on GJ. It is what it is. To me, it wasn't a bad entry. So, but let's see on gold now. Let's focus on gold. Yeah, I'm not sure about GJ. It's just so slow compared to gold as well. Just not all that familiar with it anymore. Display screen? No, it only got to like 3 pip profit or something. It wasn't enough. Gold popping back up, so let's see. Maybe again it's going to pop straight back up and push deeper into the resistance here, but we keep rejecting it, so still liking ourselves, but we'll see. Wow, look at that rejection on GJ. No way. Yeah, looking at sells. Very similar to here, but just higher up. Closure below 5 minute support. 15 minute engulfing. So let's see, coming close to London Open as well, guys. So we need to be a little bit wary of that. You want to be triggered in quite soon. Otherwise, you may need to wait for a session open. Because again, if this closes weak bullish in M15, then it's still a valid entry on the following candle. So we'll see. Make sure that stop loss in the right spot, just above 15. This is coming from a guy who just said he's going to teach someone how to trade. When London opens, what's that mean? London, what do you think it means? London Bridge? Come on, mate. Said what platform? This is, well, MetaTrader 5 is what I execute on, but obviously this is TradingView. And this is the free version. I don't use the paid version. I don't need to because I don't use indicators. So the only thing I miss is some of the data to the left from ages ago, which most of the time doesn't really make that much of a difference, to be honest, because most of the time I do have the data, enough data to the left. Alright, gold will likely have to wait for session open here, but we'll see. Still got it in for the time being. Seb, nice one. Same shit as before on gold. Yeah, so I'm gonna remove it now. Gonna wait. Too close to session open now. And we're pulling back with strength. So it comes down now to how this candle closes. So once again, this is where I could use the fib, but we're right near the high, so just let it do its thing for a little longer. And now I can use the fib to determine whether or not this is a strong candle or a weaker bullish candle. And if this thing flips now, and I just can't take a trick today, and that is what it is. So again, below the 0.382 is ideal, below 0.5 is still valid. That's just using the fib to gauge strength of a candle in order to validate a trade to the downside here. So that's where I want this candle to close below. GJ. Oh, German 40. Yep, to mention a break off that high, and it could be a decent entry, and let it go at the minute. Be in a bit of profit off the back of that. Test. GJ have any percent to go up? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Is it in chance to go up if it respects this support? Then yes, but if it doesn't, then I feel it's going to continue bearish. Statue Grizz, I do have Discord. Again, it's all there. You just click on my profile and you'll find it there. It's all there. Arafin, all good, mate. All good. Welcome. Waiting to see how gold closes here for some potential sells, but looks like it may close above the level, so may need to wait. Shall I put GJ to bed? It doesn't feel right anymore trading GJ. I really don't feel right trading it. Yeah, all good, mate. Waiting to see if gold rejects here for some potential sells. We're looking at sell just here, but it popped up. So unfortunately didn't get that option. Looking at similar things just here. Unfortunately, took a loss on GJ off the buy, but all good. Now just waiting patiently for a potential gold entry, see if it does present. Alright, so 1 minute, guys, remaining until session open. Let's see. Looks like we're going to close above the 0.382. So, well, that just means there's a bit more strength to the upside present at the minute. So, would likely need to wait for a strong closure below at this rate, at least another 15 minutes likely. FX Spectre BTC look good for a buy. Had a look at it before. Yeah, it's just stuck in the middle, bit of consolidation. I'd rather bought it. I would rather look to buy it on a pullback. All right, so gold's going to close back well above the level I want it to close at, so no entry. And good morning to you as well. Yeah, there's no entry here on gold. Wow, look at that rejection on GJ. Oof. All right, guys. What can you do? Out. GJ drop low. Would you look at sells? Well, pretty much the current level, but I'm not going to take it. Close above support. Yeah, it needs more of an upward as well. I think past week or two been so horrible. Look, stat wise, it's been okay. Been not easy finding clean entries. I mean, but otherwise, still been in profits. Two weeks ago, I think it was where I had one of my rare losses for the week, and it was a very small loss, 0.56 or something, around 6.6%, so under a percent. But otherwise, it's still been okay. Just a bit slower. So gold popping straight up. Crazy GJ, yeah. It is what it is. What can you do? This week I just couldn't find an entry. At least you're being disappointed about it. That's good to hear. Alright guys, I'll be back in about a minute. Don't go anywhere. Right back.
Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer.
Alrighty guys, I am back. Display escape with price action JJ. Yeah, it's all over the shop, isn't it? Very, very tricky. Did mention it? Did I not mention it before? What's likely gonna happen on GJ? It's gonna look like it's breaking out, pop all the way back down, look like it's gonna melt, back up, back down. I did actually mention it. Rewind the stream about an hour ago, and that looks like what it's potentially doing just now. So I'm not going to fall for it again. GJ. What's the saying? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Or is it opposite way around? Something like that. Gee, I'm glad I'm still in gold. Buy from 32.89 from yesterday. We're gonna just let it fly. Pause. Fair enough. In some nice profit. Damn Jam, we're looking for sells. Yes, looking for, well, potentially buys if it pops above 32.29.90. If it closes above. Hi GJ, forget it. Just terrible. Up, down. Triggering buyers, triggering sellers, stopping buyers out, stopping out sellers. Just consolidate. Forget it. I'm not interested in trading it. Wow. German 40 at the open. So those buys would have worked. Buys definitely would have worked that I mentioned. Want to be above that point. So the possible entry would have been likely above that candle. Wow, look at this on gold. What's silver up to today? Look at the majors pump. Oh wow. AU has been strong this week, very strong off the back of some news as well. So it's kind of led the way for the majors for a change. Usually it's the one that lags and melts like a knife through butter when something bad is going on around the world, or any bad news comes out of the economy here. Wow, gold is just rocketing up. All buy pressure in this candle. Trade market, yeah, so there's your answer. Don't trade. This makes key just has it in the fruit of supreme trader. That's why you can look in. I wish I could. And then I would never ever take a loss if that's the case. Nah, not yet, Arafin. I've not had a chance today. I've been flat out. I actually looked into Rumble though as a streaming platform. G. Trump. His tariffs on. Yeah, saw that. That was from earlier. I think US dollar absolutely flew against the real or whatever. Brazilian real, I think it is. It's unbelievable how one man can dictate the direction of currency. So that's why, for me, come later this month, it is going to be, guys, it's going to be nuts. Because if they're true to the word and they're not raising the deadline any further than August the 1st, it's going to be all over the shop. It will, you watch, gold will be a bit bananas. Even some of these majors will be a bit crazy. It's going to be very difficult because of leading up to the actual day itself to see what deals have been brokered and what haven't, and what sort of tariffs are put in place around, different trading partners. So very interesting. Not likely going to make things easy. likely that's going to mean is gold. Some of these candles are going to be huge. They are pretty big today, but you know, you're talking about easy 100 pip volume candles, which means stop loss becomes an issue. Wow, look at gold. The exact same as here. Identical. Look at the 5 minute. So if I've learned anything out of that, I would prefer to see another candle close back bearish prior to any entry above on the 15 minimum, and then play off the 5 minute structure. That's what I'll be doing. That's my plan. Because look at it, it's identical. This move here is, and the current move is absolutely the exact same thing. Basically, you've had a move up, bit of a rejection, same here, bit of a rejection, another impulse up, another impulse up. So we want to see now at least a 15 minute close back bearish at these levels, and then we can play it off the 5 minute if we begin to pop above. So
I'm looking for.
Yep, go on, man.
I'm looking for GU buys.
Yep.
But this time I'm waiting for closure of the M50 candle, and then maybe I'm willing to take a buy.
Yep. Looks pretty good above that point. Nice and clean. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. As long as you're willing to accept the risk based off the 15, and
Yeah, this time I would.
yep, nice one.
Be perfect. There's a push there. There's interruption. So
Yep. Yeah, so on gold, guys, to be honest, I really want this 15 to close strong. So I want it to start to pull back a little bit in the next M15. I want this one to close up near its high. Thank you to the new followers. Anya, Ristic, or Anja. Not sure if it's Anya or Anja. One question, do you think the Amazon Prime Day affects charts? No, absolutely no idea, in all honesty. I didn't even know it was until one of my members mentioned it. Wasn't it a couple of days back? Gee, yet one man, it's unbelievable, isn't it? FX Spectre, 33, 25, 40, had buy stop, first partial, took already at break even, nice one. Should we go for sells? If it's your plan, I don't have any confirmation just yet. So I've twice looked at potential sell options, and both times they've become invalid by the reaction of the actual candle I was looking to enter on, or the following candle. So now it sells below this point, and I'm just shifting the levels as data prints. If I expect, as I said, I think you mean BTC look good for a buy. It's very bullish, but I just wouldn't buy it from the middle of consolidation into these wicks. So as to what's going to do with gold, time will tell, mate. We'll see. Fortunately, I don't have a crystal ball, so just have to wait and see. Sippy, would you consider 1 hour trend line support gold? I don't use trend lines, but I mean, of late, I've noticed a lot of the time these high lows, higher high scenario would be perfectly respecting trend lines. Let's look at the hourly. So I'm thinking you're talking about in regards to selling it if it rejects. Things with trend lines are subjective. It's just like support and resistance, because trend line, some would just use this local level and use that as a trend line. Others would use from here, the lowest point, or from the support. You connect it to wicks and technically it's already broken through the trend line, or they maybe do this And that kind of lines up with a break of the level I'm looking at for potential sells. Yeah, so this is not good to the upside because of the way it's closing. So we may still have options to sell at below support, but not just yet. But I really wouldn't have wanted this candle to reject this 5 minute. I would have wanted it to close strong. Or closed up near the high of the resistance, then pull back on the following candle.
Not taking GU.
You're not taking it?
Closing, no,
Yeah,
not
rejecting
closing.
as well. No, I wouldn't as well. Fair enough, mate. Just when A.C.T candles are big today on gold. That's what, yeah. Oh, mate. Gotta be careful when I read some of your comments. You gotta have a laugh though. I know you don't mean anything by it. Reese, are you still looking for shorts on gold? Yes, but still below 30. I'm gonna remove that. Below 33, 23, 78 at this point. Below this level. And he showed it 329. Okay. You're in some profits, a nice one. Oh, it's cold. Yeah, static risk gold. Still pretty much the same idea. Looking for potential buys above the resistance, the sells below it. So you could now just adjust this to make it look a little bit more attractive on stream. So EI Smith looking for BSI to close above and then reversal, pull back into fair value. Yep, take short. Fair enough. How much did you earn today? Statue Grizz? So far, nothing. So far, I've actually lost a little bit today off the back of that GJ trade. But if you ask, but for the week I'm up. So it's all good. GJ stop loss is a small one, so just a small loss on that in the end compared to, you know, if there was a similar thing on gold, I'd let it hit full stop loss, it'd be a much bigger loss because stop loss in gold is a lot wider. Peanut just made 2% my instant FX capital funding account. Happy days, long gold. Now wait for shorts. Fair enough. Well done. Nice work. So guys, as you should already know, you can't, not every day is going to be a winning day. It's just fact. Not every day is a winning day. But it's all about how you manage your plan and your trades and things like that. So when you take a loss, it's not a massive loss that, you know, tears shreds into your account. Especially for those who are trading funded accounts. You guys are a lot more strict with your rules. You have to be. You have absolutely no choice. Statue Grizz around sell gold. Let's see if we all sell it. Maybe we'll dump. We'll put in our, you know, whatever it is, 1 cent up to 2, 3, 5 lots, whatever it is. I doubt we're going to shift the market, to be honest. Got someone from JP Morgan watching the stream. All right, these guys are shorting it. Let's just buy it. Bang. Taken out in seconds. Where do you place the stops? Peanut? Generally speaking, but based off a previous candle high or low or a swing. But again, I do it a little bit differently. I'm in and out very quickly for the most part, especially on gold. Gold yesterday's win took all of about 20 seconds. Can I check Ordras? No idea what it is. G, you're in from 32.85 to be 33.30. Oh, mate, you got close. I would have just secured, to be honest. You're at some resistance. Herbert, why do you have to be strict? Because if you're not, and you're not practicing risk management, you're going to blow all the rules associated with the account, and you're going to lose it. So, I mean, you don't have to. It's up to you. You guys do what you like. But if it were me, and one day I will pick up an account, I'm sure. I will do it again after my shit experience the first time. I will go through the laborious task is what I'm thinking of going through the evaluation, all that again, and getting it done. But this time will be with a reputable company, not like the last one. Peanut, thank you. Statue Cruise, sell everyone. Gold value, yep, that'd be nice. Now buy or sell. Angel, nothing. Looking for potential sells as long as you remain below the resistance, but I don't have any solid confirmation just yet. And this little area here is a little bit more narrow than the one below, so I'm not sure if we will have the margin to sell if we do begin to reject and close at 15 bearish at this point. But we will once again keep our options open. Let's have a look. Paraffin, again, I mentioned it's not anything major. It's not a huge. The most I've ever used is about 8 lots. The most. I'm not using that at the minute, but it definitely is enough to see some decent returns and enough to see some substantial losses if I don't manage things properly, if I'm not careful with it. Statue Cruise, not just yet, but potentially. Try 27. No. What does A.C.T stand for? Analyze, confirm, trade. Because it's pretty much what I do. Very strict rule-based trader. M. Herbert bought 200k accounts yesterday. Yeah, just be careful. Make sure you know all the ins and outs. Because you may be doing something you think's okay, but according to them it's not, and they'll hard breach you very quickly. They won't care. There's no excuses. There's nothing in between. Once you get a hard breach on 1 to 50 risk reward, 1 to 50. But you're talking about leverage. Leverage is 1 to 30 here in Oz. Angel, okay, yep. G just closed 33.27. Nice one. Good work. Peanut, try instant FX capital. Best one I've used. Okay. Well, we've got payouts and I suppose there's some proof. Yeah, I got done by only funds. Should be named only scams. That's what they should be named. Alright, so we're not closing to 15 yet, so there is no entry without any confirmation of resistance on that higher time frame. But I will keep that in mind. I've been approached by a few, but I don't really know of them. Paraffin, what's a good amount of leverage to use? 1 to 500 right now. It's too much. It is too much. I don't think you don't need it. Look, 1 to 30 is fine, to be honest. You shouldn't need to use all that much leverage. Yes, it's great because it maximizes your potential return, but it also can maximize loss. Generally speaking, 1 to 30, 1 to 50, I think that's fine. And here in Oz, 1 to 30 is the most we can actually, unless you're a wholesale client, which I'm not, then you're stuck at 1 to 30. But also depending on the funded account as well, if you're using prop firms, then I think again it's a different story. But I did look at FDMO, and here we're only allowed to open a raw spread, not a raw spread, sorry, a swing account with FDMO, and I'm assuming that's because of leverage and the ASIC regulation. So I'm assuming that is 1 to 30 as well. Wish more, do you know, hold on, chat's moving, do you know anything about crypto perps? No idea, apologies. Nice close here on the 5, but we still don't have a 15-minute closure, so maybe a very weak bullish closure here on this 5-minute. We'll close the 15 back bearish, the 30 weak bullish, and maybe off the back of that we could look at a similar idea to this one for a sell, and see if it does eventually make a bit of a deeper pullback. Seeing we still are below the resistance, so long as we remain below it, still think there's a good chance we could end up pulling back a little bit further before we continue bullish. Would you recommend moving to Australia or Grayson for? No, not at all. I'm trying to get out. I will be getting out eventually. No, Australia's changed. It's not what it used to be. A lot of people say the same about UK and Germany and parts of Europe, so. Herbert, funded next. I have no idea if anyone knows or had payouts from funded next. Let Herbert know. Statute Grizz, yeah, potentially. IC markets doesn't allow you. Arafin 1 to 30 is the max on IC markets. Manny up 13 points. Nice one. On my funding accounts 1 to 100. Yeah, see, that's generally, but again, I still think it's different. I know FDMO, I'm pretty sure it's 1 to 30. But Grayson's it's not like it used to be. It's shit out here. Just like anywhere else. Similar issues. It's not even safe, to be honest, like it used to be. I don't want to go into too much detail. I said yesterday or day before, I will maybe at some point jump on a totally different stream, just talking politics, talking state of the economy and all that, away from the charts, maybe on a weekend sometime, and maybe then I'll voice my personal opinion of things. Tony Gold, g'day to you. Yeah, I just don't like the way the country's heading, to be honest. I really don't like it. Peanut broker used is Australian. Global Prime. Great spread on gold. Nice one. Yeah, I see markets, the spread's really good as well. FX Cider. Yeah, the best way is just to send me DMs. Put some house music on, Arafin. Yeah, it's all from the free YouTube library, and there really isn't. You're very limited. But I have to play these tracks, otherwise I'll get strikes on YouTube. GJ moved back up. GJ's shit house. Forget it. Let's watch gold. How about that? So it tapped into a higher portion of the resistance. So formed support in a 5. What would entry and what would stop loss be? First of all, this thing has to close back bearish in the 15. Doesn't look like it's going to happen minute. Entry would be 63. 33.25, 63. Stops above 15. It's about 25 pips. Even stops on gold are not that bad at the minute. TP is not that Yeah, it's not great. It's only about 17 pips, to be honest, not even a 1-to-1, but it's not going to happen anyway. This is the way it's rejecting just now. There's still no entry on gold. So German 40 was the one that would have worked so far today, and wow, look at it now. And oh man, how to trade this thing. Alright, 10 seconds, this thing has to dump, and it's not going to do it. So, no entry on gold. Closing bullish, no entry. What can you do? Bravo. This is trading view. Peanut, same as you can. Yeah, you can probably imagine. My opinion. Angel, this week, percentage wise, not a great deal, but just a little more than about around about pip, not a pip, 1.5 roughly. Pretty small return. Not even actually. What am I talking about? Around that 1%. It's a really small return so far, but it is what it is. Charts have been a lot more tricky of late. So you got to take the good with the bad, and also the quiet with the good and the bad. And there's not much more you can do about it, to be honest. I'm a very chilled, disciplined trader. So I'm not going to sit longer on the charts to find an entry. It's not what I do. I have a time that I like to trade of a day for a certain length of time. And if the chart presents, I will take my trade. And based off data and my figures, I know that is the best way to go about it for me. If I'm just to sit here for 8 hours of a day and treat it like a proper job, or 9 hours or whatever, yes, I'm likely going to take more trades, but I'm also going to lose focus, because it's fact. The human brain can only focus on a certain thing for a certain amount of time without, you know, wandering off and losing focus and that. And then what that was likely going to lead to is, you know, maybe miscalculations on trades, trying to take trades just to justify sitting there for so long. So I'd rather do it this way, because this way works for me. Again, it doesn't mean it works for everyone. Someone else might find it more, you know, beneficial to be on the charts throughout the whole day. Oh, Grayson? Yep. Yeah, I think you guys know. Herbert, what am I expecting goal of current movement? Look, still, if we remain below 33.29.90, I would prefer to sell it. So I have no expectations, but that's what I would prefer to do. And if we eventually make a move down, and if I can't get involved in a sell, then I just look to buy it from support lower down. You know, you've had 2 payouts and rules are quite relaxed. Instant FX capital, nice one. So once the goal goes up, it's still a bit indecisive at the minute. Peanut, appreciate it. Yeah, so it's not just about, look, it's may not be that entertaining, or not for all of you, but it's, you know, we're a niche group. There's not, I don't know, many traders out there. So it's good to, you know, trade amongst others. Doesn't mean we have to take the same trades, but German 40 GJ, me. Gold a little bit indecisive as well at the minute. Charlie, CJ, we focus with buys today. Not quite. I mean, I definitely would consider buying it, but at the current level, I'm not interested in buying it into the resistance. So I'm actually more focused on trying to sell it. But if I don't get the right confirmation, it melts, and yes, the attention will turn to buyers. So look at GU, still rejecting here. Yeah, looking quite nasty. Constant rejection of the resistance here to the left. Very difficult buying into that EU respecting support. As mentioned before, I'd want to be below it in order to sell it. Gonna be tricky buying it back into that mess. Very tricky. AU still doing its own thing, surprisingly. Define the odds. You go, you good thing. EJ. EJ is not a bad pair. I'd actually recommend it to those who are quite new and wanting to pick up scalping. I reckon it's a pretty good one because it's not crazy fast. It's similar to GJ, but I find it's probably not as bipolar. Oops. Yeah, EJ was a good one. It's a good option there to buy it as well if it closes above 171, 750. Wow, look at gold rejection now. So the 5 didn't even clear support. You've closed straight into the support at consolidation. So for me, there's just nothing there. Unfortunately, it looks like it's going to melt. So we'll see what happens at 33.23.70. CPU sold. Nice one. Wow, literally popped down into that level. That was similar to yesterday's trade in regards to how quick the move was. Yeah, W 20 pips on GJ, nice one. GJ. Yeah, look at that. Taps into support, straight back up. Only crypto I have anything off at the minute is ETH. Well in profit on it, but would love to have a lot more than what I have. It's not really want it to actually pull back more. Just buying in on the dip back at around 1600. Still nothing considering I was buying it 80 years ago. Oh man. There's a wall. That's where I want to bang my head against it when I think about it, to be honest. Lazarus RP, what's your play? looking for potential gold sells, but waiting to see how price reacts to the level it's just bounced off. It's tapped into and leaving a fairly significant wick at the minute. Yeah, I was contemplating sells here, but just didn't quite have the right confirmation to do so. I was waiting for a 15 minimum to close back bearish, so all comes down to this level. Penalty wait for candles to close below or above levels. Generally speaking, it would be more based off the confirmation on the 15 first and the 30 on gold. And even if it's the closure of the hourly as well, I'll look into that. And then it would depend on the strength of the previous candle and what level we're at. So for instance, if we've closed, let's just say below this point here, and where I was waiting for price to close below, then I'll set a sell stop below low of the candle. But that has to correlate with at least a 15-minute closure below, and sometimes a 30, just depending on the circumstances at the time. But otherwise, if it's a sell from resistance, for instance, then yes, I can use the fib and potentially look for an impulse entry as opposed to waiting for it to close below. So like I mentioned before, if that bullish candle closed weak bullish, I can use the fib to determine whether or not it's weak. If it closes below the 0.382, I consider it to be a weak closure, and then that validates an impulse entry below low of that weak pause candle if it was a weak candle. There's a few different ways I can go about it. Again, it's all documented in my course that took me 15 months to put together. And that is all included with the VIP, which is pretty much the same price as the streaming service. The $1 a day is the VIP. So VIP's been going for just over a year now. So gold, everyone. Statue. Whoa, God, look at it now. It's not quite yet done with, but there's a good chance we're not going to be in this, guys. Just being honest with you. Stop loss is going to be massive. This is the candle making a move. That's sometimes how it is. Sometimes move comes, the confirmation you're waiting for is the candle actually makes the move, and there's nothing much you can do in that situation other than reassess. Yeah, what can you do? Pin up, all good? Yeah, all good, mate. There's no stress. It's all. I just appreciate the support on the stream, to be honest, guys. I really do. So, I'm a chill guy. You're more than welcome to send a message, say g'day. But again, I would never ever directly contact anyone without you guys contacting me first. That way, you know it's not me. It's not a scam, because so many people tell me. Someone sent me a message asking if I'd be interested in investing in some copy trading service or crypto and using your profile, and it's not me. Never ever do I ask anyone to send me any money or invest in anything. Just give me a sec, guys. Just need to check something. DPCP, nice one, well done. Jules, what strategy you use? I made 1 to 5.68 today. using liquidity, supply and demand. Yeah, look, I look at zones of support and resistance and things like that too, but I do it a bit differently. So I look at pure price action at predetermined levels on the chart. Price action provides my signals for entry. There's no fair value gaps or SMC. I still don't even know what SMC is, or imbalances. There's none of that. There is absolutely none of that. It's just what I do. So again, I look at the 4 hour for the zones to begin with. So here the zone is at these highs, but we're far off it, so I'm not bothering with it. And otherwise on gold, it's more the 15 levels in between. We've got resistance here, and above it, we're rejecting it. We want begin to pop back above it, close above it. There's a good chance we're heading up, and even more so this time, since we have rejected it once. So if we finally close above it, if we were to continue bearish, no need to actually close above the level we've tapped into, which is almost the highest point of the resistance. And if we did so, closed above it, retested it, then there is a higher probability with clean traffic to the left that we will continue bullish. So that's the type of thing I look for. I was also looking for some sells from below this support, but this is the candle that has made the move. There is no sells now. Way too late to the party. There is no margin. There's nothing to do about it. So my next potential options are going to be, I'll just remove that. Either going to be buys from this support, and again, that would all come down to a catalyst within price action, a signal within price action. Signals, there are different ones. It could be bullish engulfing candles, could be breaking of a minor resistance formed at support, so a bit of consolidation. Could be closures out of consolidation, things like that. Or what I want to see is price. Really, I would love to see a trigger in some buyers here, if it's seeing it's come from the high of the day. Even just one bullish candle, and a similar scenario to the upside I just mentioned. If you trigger in buyers and wipe those buyers out into clean traffic to the left, in my opinion, there's a high probability we're going to come back down to the next level just here around 33.16. So that's pretty much how I do it. Don't look at fair value gaps or any of that stuff, because to me, I don't need to. It's not what I do. This is what I do, and it's what works for me. You have to take your good with the bad. Not every day is a winning day, but any genuine trader would know that. You'll go on some nice winning streaks, and I've gone on some cracking winning streaks this year. Really good ones. I've had multiple. I've had quite a few really nice winning streaks, and you also have a few bad times. So you got to take the good with the bad, but I've been profitable all throughout. Had a couple of losing weeks. The biggest losing streak was to begin the year. That was 3 losses in a row. Other than that, I think I've not lost more than like 2 in a row. Statue grids. Yeah, we'll see. The city effects is this gold. This is definitely the gold. XAUUSD. Once again, thank you to the new followers, guys. I do appreciate it. I'm not too sure where I'll take things in the future, to be honest, guys. I will, obviously, this will be more focused on Forex, but I may start to include some fitness stuff in that too moving forward. And again, just general talk about things that's going on. I can voice my personal opinion. So this is pretty much the play I was looking for to happen either here or here. It's finally happened, but just without the same confirmation as what I had here to look for an entry. So these ones unfortunately never triggered, and you guys saw remove the orders, and this one just is missing one minor detail and yet had the closure on the 15. So again, just playing to my plan, following my rules. Wow, and this thing is just dropping like it's hot in a minute. We need trigger in some sellers, some buyers. Hourly could close bearish engulfing with at least a 5-minute bullish candle or something. Elias, why have you not marked out the zone? You just close below as a zone for support to sell below. Let me read it again. Not marked out the zone. You're talking about the one I just removed, or you're talking about here? I had a zone just there. I just removed it. So we closed through it, cut through it, wiped it out. So if we close cleanly through it, I remove it. Yeah, we could still potentially retest it, but the thing is, even if we do retest it and reject it, not gonna be any margin to sell it, to be honest. But however, see, when I would put it back in is if we pop back up, only to reject, form resistance at it, that becomes an entry point to the upside then. Buy at 33.21 resistance. Nah, not with the strength of the approach, not for me. Hands up, buy. Okay, easy as. Just followed your plan and profit freaking 2k plus. Well done, nice one. Nice one, mate. Happy to hear you guys doing well. Xi Jinping. Welcome, guys. The Honorable Xi Jinping. This is gold. This is gold. Justina, like your name, similar to mine. Just drop the nut in. Sorry. Buy or sell. Still preferring the sells here, but again, I want it to close below this support, so we reject the resistance here. But I really would love to see at least a 5-minute candle closing back bullish prior to a closure below, because otherwise we've just come from the highs without really any exhaustion whatsoever. So if it's going to happen, it has to be this 5-minute candle, because the next one will close the hourly, and if the next one is to close bullish, then we're likely going to close back above support, and there's going to be no entry off the back of that. So we'll see how it closes, and then perhaps if we don't have that little pause, it will come down to price action at the open of the new hourly candle. I still may consider it, but not as likely. So we'll just wait, stick around for a little bit longer. Thank you, Arif, for sharing the live. M. Herbert? No, not for me. I just mentioned it. X17895? No, not a minute. Grace, I don't understand why you would sell when it's down. I'd wait. Yeah, because just based off levels. That's what I was looking for a sell there, but I just couldn't get my way in because I was lacking that one thing, that 15-minute resistance support. So sorry, closure. What else looking for? So again, I'm just playing levels. But again, I really want to trigger in some buys here. And it doesn't look like we're going to be doing it, so what you can do? GJ, what a mess. Arifin, not a problem, man. Appreciate you. You have a good one. Nobody, US 30. Really? I don't know why you won't bother trading this time of day, but it's just my opinion. Doesn't mean it doesn't move, but it's not in session. Weekly forming bearish candle resistance, so it's at a key level. Daily form support below, higher time below the weekly resistance. Actually, I'm doing 4 hours when I start. But it is definitely bullish in structure. If it breaks above the previous daily candle's high, high probability will continue to the upside. Let's go into the 4 hour. There's 4 hour resistance at that point, so you want to be above it and clean traffic above it. You're currently pretty much at a 4 hour support. Structure on a 4 hour is technically bearish. 50 hour just drag that down. Just consolidating. Yeah, what I'd like to see is, it is bearish by the way. Price come back down. Bounce off the support, close above resistance, and then potentially look for the buys off the back of that. So my concern will be that it's not quite yet tapped into the 4 hour support, so that's where I want it to be at before looking for some buys. So you may be able to look for buys from this point as well. Otherwise, pops back up, rejects, look for sells. I never look at this indice, to be honest. US 30. Guys, it's gone, guys. This is just making too big of a push. Bruce, you see a buy on GU. Yeah, I personally don't. And M States looking for buying gold. I would look for a buy from this level, but I don't just buy it off price being at the level. I need it to form some sort of confirmation. Give me a confirmation, some support. Because this could just continue to melt through like, you know, like a knife through butter. It may not, it may bounce, but without the confirmation and with the strength being to the downside, with even the higher of the time frames now, the hourly closing strong bearish. A little bit too risky for my personal liking.
Hey man.
What's up, bro? All good. Not a problem.
I will not be on the NY if you are doing this. I will not be there today.
Not a problem. To be honest, Thursdays it's more of a live update, so yeah, probably won't be going too long this evening, my time for the update. But anyway, we'll see. But wish you all the best.
Enjoy.
Take care.
Enjoy your dinner and good evening.
Cheers, man. I'll catch you tomorrow.
See you, Justin.
All the best, mate. Take care.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
See ya. GB, gotta be careful how I already some of these things. Which time frame? So the 15, 30, 5, a few different ones. Gee, damn, caught that. Damn, gold, what's happened there? Caught that uptrend. Gotta look at the volume, order flow. Sade? Yeah, looking at gold. Just yeah, got a catch. Still, gold is making fun of us at the minute. It's just up now. Potentially a weak support though on the 5 below. So that's the conditions. It needs to at least close bullish here. Weak support, albeit in the 5 minute below. Then I want the new counter to tap into pretty much the high of the zone and then reject, and then I consider a sell. If not, this candle closes bearish, forget it. I'm not interested. This would come straight from the highs bearish. I want to trigger in some buyers prior to any entry. And it doesn't look like it's going to do it. So at this rate, we'll see. We've got 45 seconds to wait and see if this is going to flip and close weak bullish back below. And if not, that's it. There's nothing I can do. Christopher. Alright, gotta have that strategy. Should I go short, say, if it's within your plan? So I'm considering it. If we close weak bullish, low is 9-1. Look around that 70 region, 33.1970. Yeah, I don't want it to close above though. Oh, forget it. Close that support. Had to close below, weak bullish, so rules are rule, guys. So that is all. Nothing much we can do about it. Gave it a go. And yeah, that's it. So now what I really want to see is, again, triggering some buys, maybe even a bit of a pullback, and then approach the support again, close below, and then look for the sells. Otherwise, if it makes the move now, I wouldn't be taking it. I'd be waiting for it to pop back down to support, form support, and look for some buy options from lower down. And same thing applies to the upside. Seeing we have rejected the resistance here to the left. If we were to continue bearish, not much of a need to break above, close above. If we do so, that is where I'd like to look for some very clean options to take a buy. And if in fact we reject, so even if we pop above only to reject, then once again the sells from back below, in my opinion, could come into play. So that is pretty much what I've been looking at on Gold GJ. Just forget it. It's in one of its moods. Printing barcodes, shithouse. German 40. It's all about the support at 24.56 in my opinion at the minute. Wouldn't really be looking to do anything in between. I'd be looking to buy it from support, sell it below, buy above the daily high as well, is where you're likely going to get a decent option. That's again creating a new all-time high. So that would have worked, the buys from earlier that we did call. And yeah, that's about it. So guys, hope you had a good one. Good to hear some of you are doing well, so well done. Yeah, so take care, guys. I appreciate all the support. Thank you to all the new followers yet again. 73 of you, 74 of you now. Do appreciate it. I should be on tomorrow. Should be right for tomorrow. But if not, I'll be on Monday for sure. So do make sure to have your notifications switched on. YouTube, to the loyal few on YouTube, I do appreciate you guys as well. Thank you once again for your support, and do trade safe, guys. Do take care, and I will catch you likely tomorrow. Until then, guys, have a good one. Cheers. Take care. Bye, team.